Hey guys, welcome back to Final Fantasy Tactics Let's Play with Kristen, also known as Gellis. When we last left, we had just finished the 2 opening tutorial matches, and I said I'd be doing a few bit of things when we came back. If you remember, I had actually had about 2,500 in war funds, but of course now I'm absolutely broke. And the reason for that is because of this. Everybody's gone, Dave. And in their place are 4 people that I've spent quite a bit of time getting. So of course we all know Ramza. He's our squire. Oops. He's our squire. He's gained a few new skills. Basically he gained JP up, which increases the amount of JP earned when he does an action, which means he gains skills faster. And next to him is Gellis, our squire. She's a squire. She has 69 brave, faith, and she's a cancer. Then there's Gelki, who has 65 brave, 67 faith, and is a Sagittarius? Yep, Sagittarius. Now all this comes into play in a little bit, but mostly, here's Zack. He's also a squire. He's a Taurus with a brave of 41, but a faith of 69. And then we have York, who's a chemist. He is a Virgo with a brave of 42 and a faith of 70. Now, and then of course there's Delilah with his skills and stuff such. Now you may remember when I said a while ago that your starting birth date for Ramza kind of sort of affected things, and that's with the zodiac system. So basically every player, every monster, every NPC more or less has their own birth sign. Since Ramza's birth date is 1/1, his sign is Capricorn. And how this works is that it influences combat in that depending on the compatibility between that person's sign and the other person's sign, it can either increase damage, decrease damage, increase the likelihood of a status effect landing, decrease the likelihood of a status effect landing, that sort of stuff. But that's pretty much it. There's 4 different types. So Ramza being a Capricorn, he has good compatibility, that is, he does more damage, takes more damage, has a higher chance of landing a status effect, and a higher chance of receiving a status effect from people that are Tauruses or Virgos. He does less damage to people that are Aries or Libras. He does the best damage and has the best compatibility with a Cancer of the opposite sex. And he has the worst compatibility, so he does best against Cancers that are female, and he does the worst against Cancers that are male. And as you go through, so of course I happen to actually have a Cancer that is female. And of course breaks it down, of course, for all of the characters. Good is Scorpio, it's Pisces, bad are Aries and Libra, and of course the good and the bad are regardless of gender. And so best against opposite sex Capricorn, which is Ramza, and worst against Capricorn of the same sex. And there's Gelki, who's Sagittarius. And of course, she doesn't have any good or best with Cancer or Capricorn, so she's just a neutral to them. She doesn't get a bonus to, and she doesn't get a bonus against. So, but her good and bad are Aries, Leo, Virgo, and Pisces. And what do you know? I happen to have a Virgo. Yeah, that's right. York is my chemist, and he has the worst compatibility with a Pisces of the opposite. No, he has bad compatibility with a Sagittarius of the opposite sex, and a good compatibility with a Taurus and a Capricorn, which I also happen to have. So York and Gelki have bad compatibility with each other. But with the way this is going to go, it shouldn't matter too much. The only thing that really truly matters is the compatibility of Zack. And I'll show you why in a bit. But he's a Taurus, which has good with a Virgo and a Capricorn, which is Ramza and York. He's bad with Leo and Aquarius, which is nobody. And he's not bad or worse with Scorpio. So he does good with 2 of my team members, but he's neutral with everybody else, which is absolutely fine. That's pretty much how the system goes with as far as the zodiac side. So Delight is a Sagittarius, so of course he has nothing really in our team, and we don't really care about what Delight does anyway. The other thing that I spent a bit of time going over, and when I got my new people, are their brave and their faith levels. Now, brave shows the courage of the unit. The higher the number, the more courage. That's a little bit misleading, but basically what it means is that certain attacks, certain probabilities, basically the higher you're brave, the more damage you do in some of your attacks, the better your chances of landing a percentage-based skill, like, say, casting blind on somebody, that sort of stuff. It affects a couple of things, but mostly just overall affects damage. So the higher you get your brave, the better it is. There's ways to permanently manipulate brave, but we'll get into that later. And it's the same with faith. Faith being belief in miracles and phenomenon beyond science, such as spirituality and magic. Higher numbers, higher faith. The higher your character's faith, the more magic damage they do, and so forth, and of course the more magic damage they take. And so on and so forth. It's good to have high faith and good compatibility for your healer, because that's what's going to determine the success rate of a spell like Raise or Protect. So that's why you don't want bad compatibility with your healer, and York's going to be our healer. That's why he's the chemist. So York shouldn't have a problem casting protection spells against anybody, or really casting raising spells either. Zack, of course, if Zack was my healer, he'd have a hard time against Gelki because they have bad compatibility. But he's not. He's going to be our offensive magic person. That's about it. Oh, one last thing. I've also learned some new skills with everybody. Everybody can learn, with their class, everybody gets a major primary ability, and they can add a secondary ability. So for now, I just gave everybody item and basic, because that's all I really need at this time. And you just learn it from this menu. And so when you gain enough JP, you both go up a level, and it allows you to learn new skills for that class, for that job. We really don't have to worry about this too much yet in this while we're just starting out, but it's going to come into play in a little while. But for now, let's head on over to this little red dot and oh wait, nope, cutscene! So remembering that Chapter 1 itself is a flashback, what's going to happen now is we're going to have a flashback in a flashback. So don't get too confused about what the heck is going on. How do we just suddenly teleport somewhere? No, this is a flashback in the middle of our flashback. So, having attained the highest rank of Heavenly Knight, brave Balbanes was facing his last days. The end of the 50-Year War, the Beowulf Resonance. Now, if you remember, the 50-Year War is the war just prior to the Lion War. And the flashback is at the start of the Lion War. This flashback is at the end of the 50-Year War, but before the flashback we're currently in, just prior to the start of the Lion War. It's confusing, but that's okay. Balbanes, how goes the battle? Zalbag, through swift action we were able to recover Limberry. It's only a matter of time before the Mandalia army leaves Zeltenia, don't worry. Lord Dysadarg, the secret messenger has sent to Count Lenario has returned. Count Lenario has agreed to your plan. Good, then, at last this long war will finally come to an end. Father, don't cry, my daughter. Where is Ramza, just when we need him most? Dysadarg, Zalbag, my beloved sons, take care of Ramza. He may be your half-brother, but he is my own flesh. Father! Lower your voice. Father! I'm glad you came. Let me look at you. Father, it has been a long time. You've become a fine man. You started the academy in spring, don't you? Listen, Ramza. The Beov has served the royal family for generations. The warrior spirit is in us. Never shame your name. Never tolerate injustice. Living true to your heart is the warrior's way. The Beov way. I understand, Father. Delight is a good boy. He should serve you well. I've asked the Dean to accept him into the academy. It shocked the Dean a bit. He will serve you well. Treat him well. Yes, Father. Take good care of Alma. Become a fine knight, Ramza. And then he died. So, well, now we know how Ramza and Delilah got into the academy. Balbanes asked them to, at the end of the 50-Year War. If you're ever wondering what the heck is going on, there is an appendix of sorts that goes over everybody that's possibly important to the game. So here's Balbanes. Balbanes Beov, who's the father of Ramza. You can just pause that if you want to read it. But mostly, we will meet probably about half of this list. Like, you never meet Revelia, the queen, sorry. You never meet Queen Revelia. But she's talked about often. All these people are talked about often. Because, of course, there's that whole background to it. But enough about that. Let's get going. To Mandalia Plains. Remember sometimes I said you'll take less than 5 people? This is one of those fights. So we only can take 4 people, one of which is Ramza, which means we only get to take 3 of our own people. So I'm gonna take Gellis, I'm gonna take Gelki, and I'm gonna take York. Zack will have to wait for a little bit, because I'm gonna take York with us. Zack will have to wait for a little bit until our next chance to use him. There's a reason for this, and we'll show you what that is in a minute. Entering the battle on Mandalia Plains. Still breathing? What do we do? Don't be stupid. We just need to get the marquee. Right. Hey, don't blame us. Blame fate. What? Damn! The Hokuton Knights! Death Corps? They attacking someone? Remember when I said there's multiple ways to raise and lower your brave? This is one of them. Choosing one of these options has an effect on the outcome of this battle. First of all, it changes your win condition. Using condition 1 makes the condition defeat all enemies. Well, choosing condition 2 means you have to keep the other guy alive. We're gonna go with number 1, because number 1, in addition to changing to being it slightly easier because the AI is kind of dumb, I'll show you in a second. Our duty is to destroy the Death Corps. Get them! Are you mad, Ramza? Leaving him stranded? Is this how you fight? I'll save him, and Delilah will. So now our condition is defeating all enemies instead of saving Algus, which is good because saving Algus is a pain. But Delilah goes first. And then it's Algus' turn. Meet Algus. Reinforcements, thank God. And then the other guys go. That guy's almost dead, but he's gonna take a swing at Algus. That's okay, they can all run. They can't hide. Looks like we're up against 4 squires, a thief, and a wild cat that decided to show up for some reason. That's okay. Random wild cat. We'll kill you too. You're an enemy. Part of the reason why I chose that is because this is one of the few ways early on to raise Brave. We take a look at Ramza. His Brave, which was previously 70, is now 80. That's right, everybody in this fight now has a plus 10 Brave. Even better, for every 4 Brave that you raise is raised in combat or faith, it confers a plus 2 bonus. So when we come out of this fight, Ramza's Brave, which was previously at 70, will now be 72. There are other ways, in manual ways, to adjust Brave, but for now, this is one of the best ways. This is one of the easiest times you get to do this. All right, whose turn is it? We're not gonna do too much. York is actually kind of useless in this fight because the only thing he knows how to throw are Phoenix down and rocks. But it's okay. Algus is being an idiot, and he's gonna go straight up to 5 people that can all kill him just to get a guaranteed kill on that one guy. On the bright side, because he's next to a dead body, nobody can reach him until their next turn. If anything, this guy probably can, and this guy probably can. Algus, by standing here and killing that guy, has actually trapped these 2 guys here. They have to go all the way around to reach him. Which would be great if this was a win condition, save Algus fight. But it's not. It's a kill everybody fight. So I don't really care. I mostly just want to gain as much JP as possible, as many job points as possible in this fight. Which is made easier by everybody having the same class except for my chemist. When you're leveling up job points, some of it spills over to the other people of that same class. So it's a little easier if everybody's the same class to level that class. As my chemist, Zach over there is going to have the least, actually. But that's okay. Then a panther shows up and it does 8 damage. So, the panther is not really a concern at the moment. Although the panther can probably move around to attack Zack. That's okay as well. Oh, I didn't check that. The panther has that reaction ability. Panther has counter, which is well, I can't actually see it, but the panther has counter, which is actually different from counter tackle. Counter will, given a chance, pretty much do a full scale attack against that other person. That's fine. To compensate for Zack only having the ability to throw Phoenix Downs, I gave everybody else item with potion. So he's pretty much here as filler. Whenever possible, I want my ladies to get the kill, because that'll give them the most XP. Experience. Delight is going to be useless. This is not surprising. Algus will nearly die. This is not surprising. And the cat will claw our character, which is also not surprising. None of this is really surprising. Oops. Nope. Because he doesn't really have anything worthwhile, we just have him chuck rocks, so he could be useful and gain JP. Cat will attack him, but I can't reach the cat to stop him. That guy is full health, so we will... As you can tell, unlike my chemist, people who have item as a subset, job level up, cannot throw. They can only use it on themselves or on the square next to them. You can get the option to throw, like if there's a skill you can add, you can learn to actually use throw, but it's not worth it. Primarily, it's not worth it. Delilah should kill the cat. That just leaves a squire and a thief. Now, one of the things that I've decided to do for this Let's Play, there are 20 different jobs that you can assign, and there are 4 chapters, and you can deploy at max 5 characters. So one of the things I've decided to do is to assign 4 jobs per character per, actually, we'll use this. We'll assign a job per character per chapter, all the way through the end of that chapter. So for now, well, everything is more or less, let's see, well, everything is more or less relatively easy. Ooh, look at that, 12, he does 12 damage with a sword. He must have bad compatibility with that guy. And sure enough, he's a Cancer with the same sex, so he has worse compatibility with him. But since I've already moved, I can't do any other actions. So it's either I attack him, or I just use a potion. Algus, whoa! Algus will one-shot the thief! Because Algus got a critical. 45 at this level is actually a lot of damage. So I'm actually a little surprised by that. Also, for some reason, if you do to kill everybody, Algus seems to do a better job of actually helping. We're military cadets. So Ramza and Algus go talk about how Marquis Elmdor, something happened to him. And yeah, that's it. We get some 700 gil. We get a potion. We get some potions, and that's it. Pretty much it. And we get a permanent +2 to brave for everybody that took part in this battle. So let's see what we've got. Oh. I'm Algus, of the Limbury Aegis Knights. A knight? I mean, a cadet. You know, like you all. I'm Ramza Beowulf. This is Delilah, a good friend. Blink blink? Beowulf of the Hokuten? Excellent! How lucky I am! Huh? I beg you, please help me save the Marquis. What are you talking about? The Marquis is still alive. They've kidnapped him. He will be killed if we don't act fast. I don't know what I would do if... ... So please, help me, please! He begs of the man that just easily decided to leave him to die, but that's okay. Relax, we don't know for sure if he'll be killed. There must be some reason for the Death Corps to take him. They might have made some demands. Besides, there's nothing we could do. The Marquis was kidnapped, and I'm sure by now everyone knows everyone at Egros Castle is up in arms. First, we should go to Egros and report. Alright, let's do that. And with that, so of course we could change job at any time once outside of a battle. So, leveling up your job opens up new classes for you to join. But for chapter 1, I've pretty much already planned out how the chapters will go. And for chapter 1, we're gonna stay a squire for our good friend here. So, he'll get some additional stuff, like he can learn other abilities from other classes and set them as his other items. But we're not going to. Instead, we're just going to leave him as a squire and do other stuff as we need them. Let's see. Gellis gets turned into a knight. Gelki gets turned into a... Let's see, we don't have what she actually gets turned into yet. So I'll have to make sure to get that. But Zack and York have their own little things they're going to turn into. York is going to be a white mage. York is going to be a black mage wizard once we get that unlocked. And Zack is going to be our white mage. And that'll be the classes that they're stuck with for the entire rest of this chapter. So for chapter 1, we'll have a squire, a knight. Once I get it unlocked, Gelki will be a thief, a white mage, a black mage, a white mage, and a wizard. And that'll be our team for chapter 1. Algus and Delida can pretty much make whatever, but they do best as knights. So I'll do that. And that's it for this chapter. When we come back, we'll go up to Egros Castle, do a little talking, and have another combat.